name's Cody, and I suffer from scan tool addiction. If you or somebody you know suffers from scan tool addiction, please call 1-800 Stronger Together and get help. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see behind me, I broke out my collection of scan tools. There is anybody that does any kind of drivability or diagnostic work should know, if they don't already, that not every scan tool does everything. This isn't going to be a super long video. I'm not going to go into I'm not going to go into depth on every single one of these tools. I'm just going to show some of my likes, some of my dislikes of each one of these tools, kind of why I have multiple scan tools. Because here's the thing, not one scan tool, at least in the aftermarket, not one scan tool is going to do everything. The aftermarket scan tools are only going to get you by about, I'd say 70 to 75% of the time. So that's good. That's good for 70% of the time. But there can be PIDs that are missing, data parameters that are missing inside the scan tool. Paulie from Paulie's Auto has a good video where he pretty much got his butt kicked on a vehicle because his snap-on Varus didn't have the alcohol percentage in the scan tool. So he didn't know what the computer's seeing, what the computer's reading, how it's adjusting the vehicle to run. You know, and that's the struggle. That's one of the struggles of getting aftermarket scan tools. And these aftermarket scan tools, the Autel does things that the Snap-on doesn't do. The Launch does things that the Autel and the Snap-on don't do. And guys always ask me, it's like, what scan tool do you recommend? All of them. Honestly, I mean, and that's kind of a, you know, that's kind of a bad answer, but in reality, if you are a diagnostician or you do a lot of drivability work, you know that these aftermarket scan tools are awesome. They can get you by, but not for everything you need, okay? You can buy factory level scan tools, and after the factory level scan tools are obviously going to be able to do everything that they can do in the factory or at the dealerships. But with those tools, it's for car line. You know, you buy a GM factory scan tool, it's for General Motors. You buy a Ford IDS, like this one right here, it's for Ford. So it's buying individual tools for each manufacturer, which can get costly. But on that same note, if you think about it, they're not horribly priced. This Ford IDS is the factory Ford scan tool. This thing gets used, I don't know if it's just our general location or what it is, but we work on a lot of Fords. A lot of Fords, a lot of GMs, a lot of Fords, and a lot of Chryslers. That tool, it is amazing. I absolutely love it. I love it that I can flash with that tool wirelessly. I love that it is a wireless connection, plugs into the DLC. I have cars from a lot of other locations getting sent to me from just the fact that I do have this tool, and I can do some resets and I can do some relearns and programming that either the aftermarket scan tools can't do, or the programming just using the JBox can't do. So love that tool. Drawback for that tool, okay? Love the IDS. Drawback, has to be hooked up to a laptop. And lugging around a laptop, it's inconvenient. You know, I usually keep my laptop either on one of my 2 diagnostic carts with the monitor and everything. But going for test drives and everything else, it's if anybody knows, it's awkward. I mean, it really is, and that's where these aftermarkets are nice, because it's handheld. Go for a test drive, you got it right here. I mean, it's a simple grab. It's a simple grab. That's a drawback. Other than that, I mean, I really do love the Ford IDS. It has made me money, okay? Especially for the price of it. Yes, you need a subscription to the Ford website in order to use this. So that's a cost, but you need a subscription for any of these tools, pretty much. Now, with the Ford IDS, you need to be up to date with your subscription. It's not like some of the other tools that, you know, if you let it expire and you don't stay updated, you can still use the tool. Well, with the Ford IDS, if it's not up to date and you have that current subscription, can't use it. So that's a drawback, okay? But other than that, I mean, that tool has really made me money. Guys will ask me, what scan tool should I get? And that's not an easy answer. I don't want to steer guys in the wrong direction. My advice on that is get a scan tool that you can afford. Don't go out. You don't do a lot of drivability. There's no need to go out and spend the $16,000 on a Snap-on Zeus. Obviously, there's some other models. There's the Modus, and I mean, Snap-on's got a bunch of scan tool options. But don't go broke getting a scan tool. You want the scan tool to make you money, not to cost you money. Obviously, it's going to cost you money up front, but you want a return on your investment. Okay, so if you're doing 1-2 diags a week, an expensive scan tool isn't going to cut it for you, you know. But there's other options for that. If you're not doing solely drivability work and you need it every once in a while, there's options like the Diagon. Okay, it's a little bit over $600, and this thing does practically everything that the big boys do. Smaller footprint, it's nice. Boot up time is super quick. It's not just a code reader. It's bi-directional. That thing's sweet. I like it. I like it a lot. Now here's the thing. If you work in a shop and they provide this, they have a shop scan tool, and let's say they have an Autel scan tool or a Snap-on scan tool. Now, you want to buy your own personal scan tool because there's 5-6 other guys in the shop, and it can be tied up with somebody else using it. And again, time is money. It's nice to have another tool. Hence why I do have multiple tools, because there's times where I'm working on 4, 5, 6 cars at one time, all for drivability concerns. So instead of taking one tool and jumping car to car and rebuilding that vehicle inside my tool every single time, I can have multiple tools hooked up. I can be diagnosing this while reading fuel trims on another vehicle. I mean, it's nice having multiple tools. And if anybody does this, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, if your shop does have an Autel Snap-on scan tool, my suggestion is, if you want to go out and buy another tool for your personal use, don't buy the same brand of tool. If the shop has an Autel, don't go out and buy another Autel. Why? Because the shop's Autel and your Autel, they're pretty much going to be doing the same thing. It may be an update difference. That one, the shops may be, you know, behind on its updates, and you got the most current update. It doesn't matter. I mean, essentially, they're going to be doing the same thing. So my advice to you is, if the shop has an Autel, get a launch. Get a different brand scan tool. That way, if one scan tool doesn't have what you're looking for, or a reset you're looking for, or a PID that you're looking for, grab another tool. Grab another tool, see if it's in there. But if you're grabbing another tool that's the same company, that's not doing you any good. All right, so that is my suggestion. All right, I'm sure you guys, you've done any diagnostics in the last 20-something years, more 20-something, no, it's longer than that, like 30-something years. This tool has been, this tool was awesome. I mean, it still is awesome, but obviously technology's changed. When it comes to OBD1, this tool, I mean the MT2500, this was the go-to tool. This was the first scan tool that I ever put my hands on. And you know, this is what kind of got my foot in the door. And this tool had the troubleshooter in it. It is just an awesome tool. But technology changes over the years, and this tool just can't keep up. So why do I still have this tool? Well, actually, it's a new tool for me. I actually bought it off an ATG instructor, Rick Kelly. He was getting rid of it, and I got a good deal and stuff on it, and I kind of wanted to add to my collection. But this tool is awesome for OBD1 vehicles, and that's mainly why I got it. I couldn't pass up the deal. So yeah, it's an old tool. I bought it. It gets stored away. I need it. I use it when I need it. But you know, here is the latest and greatest Snap-on, the Zeus. Okay, I'll be honest with you. This tool is my first grab, and the reason it is my first grab, not because it's the most expensive, or not because it's Snap-on. It is my first grab because doing the full health reports. Here's the thing. If you guys are not doing your full health reports, the pre and post scans, you need to be doing it. And my recommendation, get a scan tool that does the full health reports, but not just that, but that can print the full health reports. So you can print it up and you can attach it to the RO for the work order. That way you have a pre-scan, you have a post-scan, and that you're covering your ass. CYA, that's what it's all about. Car comes in with 46 codes. You're writing every single one of those codes down on a ticket, the descriptions, everything. Again, time is money. I don't like that. I want a full health report, and that's why I grab my Snap-on. It does the full health report. I hit print and it goes to the wireless printer from my work. So quick and easy, it gets attached to the RO. Every single vehicle that's a drivability complaint gets a full health report. Something, if you're not doing, do it. Pros and cons of this tool. I like it. It's expensive. Con, it's expensive. Pro, the graphing on the Snap-on is top notch. Okay, I absolutely love the graphing. If I'm doing any kind of test drives that involves graphing, O2 sensors, or any kind of graphing, wheel speed sensors, any of that kind of stuff, that is gonna be my first grab, is the Snap-on. Because of the zoom capability, the zooming in and zooming out is just by far so much better than the Maximus 3.0 or the Autel. That's my opinion. I think I love it. Okay, that is a pro. Another pro is this right here, the guided component test. Obviously you get this if you have the scope on your tool. So not every Snap-on tool is gonna have it, but let's just go to Acura 2014. I use this, I'm not saying the scope, but I'm just saying these quick references for the crank sensor. This information, the component information right there, that was so much quicker than going into SI information. Service information on All Data or Mitchell. Quick and easy, it's right there. It'll tell you 9 times out of 10 wiring colors are correct. There are times where it's wrong, but you're looking at pin locations. Pin locations, I haven't found one where pin location is wrong. So don't necessarily have to look at wiring colors. You're looking at pin locations. It'll tell you best test location. It's that right there saves me so much time. I absolutely love that guided component test. just for those quick references. Even if you're not sure how a sensor works, that component information right there, obviously there's going to be more information in your service information as far as description on how a component works. But for just a simple rundown, that's fast. It's perfect. I absolutely love that. Okay. Full health reports. So if we go in, we'll just go into vehicle history. What's nice about the Snap-on, like I said, is these full health reports. And what's also nice is it automatically saves these full health reports. So if the vehicle comes back for the same or different code or whatever it is, you have that print up so you can compare, like, look, yes, the check engine light's on again. It's a separate code, it's a separate issue. It's a separate diag, okay? But it automatically saves it to the vehicle, which I love that. Okay, I don't want this video to be too long. Let's go on to the Maximus 3.0, which is a launch scan tool. Matco has put some features and stuff in there that I think is pretty cool. I got this unit after I bought this. I bought this, and like I said, I absolutely love this thing. It's small, it's compact, it's convenient, it's fast. Awesome. It's a great $600 investment. Absolutely love it. The sheer size, wireless, everything about it. But for test drives, reading data, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and I like having the larger screen. I like to be, I don't like to be on top of my scan tool to kind of see what's going on. If I'm spraying an intake, looking at fuel trims, I want to see what's going on without having to squint. So that's why I got this. It will do the full health reports, and it does have, it will be able to print. Here is the full health report. I have not been able to get it to print. Not the tools issue. It's actually the printer that we use. Haven't figured out a way to get that set up yet. So that, for me, that's a drawback because it's not a tool that I grab first, because doing a full health report on this, I would have to write down all the codes. So that's why I grab my Snap-on, but this can do it. I know my buddy Brandon, my buddy Doug, a bunch of other guys, they have got it to print. That's not a problem. Obviously I have other printers and everything, but I don't like plugging in to be able to print. I like doing the wireless print because it goes to the front office. I go and grab my paperwork, come back, saves me paper, saves me ink. But yeah, it's a drawback for me, but it's not a big deal. One thing that I do like about this is the tech-to-tech. This is, we don't have internet because it's 6:20 in the morning, but this tech-to-tech is pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool. Like I said, so my buddy Doug has one, and what you do is you both have, it doesn't have to be the Maximus, it just needs to be a launch product that has the tech-to-tech. So it can be an X431. It can be another X431, another launch product. You put in your serial numbers, you're able to find your buddy that has the tool, and what you can do is from your tool, you can go into his tool and you can help him diagnose a vehicle. You can do a chat back and forth. That's it's pretty cool. I wish I could show you more about it, but our internet doesn't get turned on till about 6:45, and it is early right now. So that's something I really do like. Now, if we go back here, this vehicle voltage is nice. That it has it just, by a click of a button, you can just check the status of the vehicle voltage, and it will come up with a graph and everything right there. So for like a quick test on the battery, obviously it's not a scope, it's not what you go off of if you're having a battery issue, but it's something that you can at least monitor. I don't know how many times that, you know, an alternator hasn't been charging, and you have, with the snap-on, you have to go into the PIDs to see if it's not charging or not. This right here, it's just right there at your fingertips. Something I really like. What are some other features that I like about this? Oh, here's another thing. Another thing I like about the snap-on. You're on a test drive, okay? Vehicle acts up. You're recording. Once you go into your data, snap-on automatically starts recording. So you're on your test drive and you feel a glitch, something happens and everything else, and you come back to the shop. You can stop it and go back and play your recording. Autel and launch are set up a little bit differently. You must press record before you go on your test drives. If you don't, your data will be lost. Your data will be lost. It won't record that test drive. So you have to be sure to hit record. And I'm just telling you that because I don't know how many times that I forget to hit record. It's as simple as that. You know, you forget to hit record and you have an intermittent issue, and now you got to wait another however long till it acts up again because you didn't grab the data when you needed to or save the data. So, but yes, I do like this tool. The zooming on it is horrendous. This is the worst zoom out of the three manufacturers. This is good. This is better. This is best. That's my opinion on the graphing. I am huge on graphing PIDs. I like to see what's going on over time. Good tool, wireless. This is the dongle, nice and small. This is another launch product, and it is just, it's pretty much a glorified code reader. It will read data, generic data. It does not do anything enhanced, but this is my code reader. I plug it in, I can clear codes in a matter of seconds. So definitely not a scan tool, but it is nice to where you're not tying up one of your bigger units to just clear codes. Because we all know the bigger units are going to take more time to build the vehicle to go in and clear the codes. But this is only going to be clearing the PCM or TCM codes. It does not do ABS, so you know, it is what it is. This launch here, I don't have it plugged in and my battery is dead. It's a good tool. It's a cheaper tool. It does graph. It's got limitations. I've used it a little bit. It's not something, I don't like being tethered. So it's nice to have. I may actually do a giveaway with this, but we will see. I need to see if I actually use this more than I have been. Okay, so now moving on. Autologic. Absolutely amazing tool, but not an amazing tool if you do not work on these brands right here. This is strictly a European tool. It is absolutely amazing on BMW. It's great on Mercedes, Jaguar. It's good. Volkswagen, Audi. It's okay. I actually prefer the Autel over the Volkswagen Audi than this, but again, getting your return on investment. Absolutely amazing tool. Okay, love the Autologic. I have not made a return on investment on it. Okay, for the cost of the tool and how little European cars that we get here for drivability concerns, I'm in the red. Okay, so I have not updated it. It's, you know, it is what it is. Great tool if you're working on Europeans. You will make your money back on it. But we don't see, from our location, our demographic and stuff, we don't see the European vehicles as much as some of our other locations. So again, great tool. What's nice about it, it does do the full health reports. It will send the full health reports to your email. So you can print it up. And like I said, I mean, from doing coding to reprogramming, you know, when it comes to the Europeans and stuff, if you're working on strictly Europeans, the Autologic, in my opinion, is honestly, you know, the way to go as far as that. But we'll see if I'll get a return on investment in the future about it. So Diagon, you know, you guys have heard me talk about this. Absolutely great tool, $600. I think this, out of all these tools, is the best bang for the buck because it is bi-directional and it can do a bunch of resets. It can read data, it can graph data, but I can't print with this. I know other people like Cuba and stuff have gotten it to print. I think Keith DeFazio has his printing. I just haven't figured it out. I'm not really worried about it because what I use this tool mainly for is for quick resets, a quick grab. If I go on vacation or anything, I bring this tool. That way I pretty much always have a scan tool on me at one time or another. Okay, Autel. My least favorite tool, and it's nothing against Autel. Obviously this isn't the big bad boy. I got this one because it has the tire pressure in there, and I got the tire pressure because yeah, we do tires, and we got tires everywhere. So it was so I got it for that. Yes, I could have bought just a tire pressure monitor, tire pressure reset for my Snap-on, but like I said, here's the thing: I could have bought all that for my Snap-on, but I spent a little bit more money and I got a full functioning scan tool that does the same thing, because here's the tire reset. It's got the full capability of it, but now I have a scan tool, an additional scan tool on top of my other one. So Snap-on fails on a reset, well, now I can grab, you know, at that time I could grab my Autel and plug in and see if there was the PIDs or the resets or whatever in that. So and like I said, it does the tires. So yes, this tool has made me money. It's not the big bad fastest one Autel makes, but it does get by. Being the smaller one, it's slow. I mean, yes, it's wireless. Here's the wireless dongle. It's slow. I've heard from Matthew Skunkrich that it will speed up if you tether it and put the cable from here to the tool. Haven't done that. I don't like being tethered. So I honestly don't grab this tool as much as I do on some of my other ones. Okay. Old school Autel. Now this bad boy right here, this is 7085 or 70, what is it? DS708. Now this is when Autel first came out. I got this and I paid a lot of money for it, or not a lot of money, but you know, it was like $1,500, and then shortly after it dropped to like $600. But anyway, I bought this. This is before Autel got in big trouble having they got in a lot of trouble being able to do resets and some things that they weren't supposed to. So I never updated this tool, because if I did, I would have lost those. They got in trouble, so they ended up taking those out of their software, those resets or whatever, like Chrysler doing keys and stuff. There are things that this thing does, and I just never bothered updating it because I didn't want to lose some functionality. At one time, when I didn't have the Zeus, when I had the Varus, and having a Nissan with it idle being high and the idle volume learn, the snap-on absolutely would not do it. Couple clicks with Autel, drop the RPM to where it needed to be, cleared the codes, good to go. And you know, that's a perfect example of where I would spend 15, 20, 30 minutes trying to reset it with the snap-on, and 2 minutes in, that thing was able to do it. So I keep it around because, like I said, it will do some things on some of the older vehicles that this will not do. Okay, so this bad boy right here, this is like the version of this. It is a scan tool that's been around for close to 30 years, and it's the Tech 2. It is a GM factory scan tool. There is a downloadable version now through the GM website that you pay money and then you pay for a subscription, and you're able to have a full functioning Tech 2 and to do all the resets and everything that you need it to do without having to spend the $5,000 of what they sell these units for. Yes, this was a $5,000 unit when I bought it with the candy module and everything. It has made a return on my investment. I've had it for close to 10 years. That thing, even though it's old and the graphing is horrible on it when it comes to resets and setting SDMs and everything else, back in the day before any of the other tools were doing it, this bad boy was. So would I suggest somebody going out and buying a Tech 2 now? No, I would say do the download, save yourself some money. From what I've been told, the Tech to Win, the downloadable version on the GM website, now does 100% of what the actual Tech 2 does. So I could be wrong on that, but that's what I did hear from a GM instructor, which back in the day, the Tech to Win was only doing about 80 to 85% of what the actual Tech 2 was doing. So, okay, moving on. Ford IDS, okay, factory scan tool, wireless. You can do wireless programming. It's made my money back tenfold. I mean, awesome investment, not expensive for this unit. Obviously, it needs to be up to date, but their programming subscriptions and everything are really reasonable. I think they changed here recently. You'd have to go onto the Ford website to see what the actual fee on that is. I pay yearly, so that's that. But this is absolutely awesome. Okay. Something I was told in one of my training events is that the aftermarket scan tools are going to give you a lot of width. It's going to give you information that's kind of, you know, in a generalized area, but it's not going to give you any depth. The depth is where the factory scan tools come in, and that may be doing you know, module relearns to installing new modules, module setups. I can't tell you how many times I plugged in an aftermarket scan tool and it may have the option in there to do some kind of reset, and you go in there, you're like, yes, this tool's got it, it's got the reset. And you go in there, press your button to go do the reset, and it will say function not supported. Damn it! Function not supported, you're stuck. I don't want to make this video super long. It's already longer than it should be. I told you guys some likes, some dislikes about these tools, but I want to hear from you guys. If you guys want to see more and what you guys want to see more of as far as with these tools. With the scan tools, a comparison. I know I did the scan tool showdown, and it'd probably be a good idea to do another one of those now that I have added the Maximus 3.0 into the mix, because before it was just the Zeus, the Diagon, and the Autel. So now there's the Maximus 3.0 that we can compare as far as speed, you know, functionality, show the zoom. But write down in the comments below what you guys would like to see more in depth and which tool you'd like to see more in depth. But yeah, that's my rant, guys. Here's the thing. Being a drivability technician, a diagnostician, having one tool is not going to cut it. It's having multiple tools, or it's having factory level tools. Actually, it's a mix of having aftermarket and factory tools. The aftermarket tools are nice because the quick, convenient grabs for test drives, whatever it may be. The factory tools have their place. They definitely have their place, and they're allowing the aftermarket indie guys to be able to buy these tools. You know, with some money and a subscription, you're able to do everything that the dealers can do. So here's the thing, don't send your customers away. You know, you want to be able to get a return on your investment. So if you're seeing a bunch of Fords come in, really look at the Ford IDS. If you're working on a bunch of Toyotas, here's the thing. This J-Box with a Toyota subscription, I have a factory Toyota scan tool right there, boom. Yes, it's hooked up to the laptop, but I have a Toyota factory scan tool. You can even go a cheaper route and get a Mongoose cable for Toyota and have a subscription. And the Mongoose cables, I think you can get them for like 400 bucks and a subscription, and you have a Toyota factory scan tool. That's awesome. I mean, that's where these manufacturers are trying to go with the right to repair. They're trying to make it to where you can have a subscription and a J2534 pass-through and be able to have factory scan tool capabilities. I think that's a good idea for the indie guys. But I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews. I'm kind of torn on it, honestly. So I guess we'll have to see how it pans out, honestly. But here's the thing: you're looking at buying a scan tool. Don't go broke. You know, you can get a scan tool that can do everything you want to do for under $1,000. More expensive scan tools are going to do a little bit more, usually, sometimes. The Snap-on scan tool does do a lot. It does have the scope on it. It's also really expensive. Do I suggest that being your first scan tool? Absolutely not. It wasn't my first scan tool. I bought the Snap-on when I could afford it. Yes, it is the tool that I grabbed first. That's me, and that's because of the print-ups for the health reports. Oh, another thing, the Autel, I do have a link on my desktop that I can print that will link to my desktop, and then from my desktop or from my laptop I can print. So I can do full health reports with this. The speed of it is horrendous, so I don't grab it for that. But if my Zeus is tied up, I will grab the Autel for the full health reports. Documentation, CYA. I'm gonna do a whole video just on CYA alone because it is so important, guys. So important. I can't stress it enough. Writing down the codes on an RO is one thing. Having it professionally printed up to show the customers is another thing. It's absolutely imperative, honestly. This is where the industry's going. You need to document everything. There's a reason why these scan tools all have cameras on them now. Why? Take pictures of the parts. You know, if something's broken, if something's torn, take a picture, save it to that file, document. Customer comes back, you just pull up that vehicle, you have all that information, you have the pictures of, you know, the part that was bad, whatever it may be. It's document. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see a little bit more in depth, and I'll go in depth with it. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Go down, hit like, hit subscribe, hit dislike, whatever. Doesn't bother me. But whatever, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm signing out.